double your pay. I'm actually going a little bit early today. So if you're logging on live to watch this, which a few of you do me a favor, you can go back and watch the beginning in the Facebook group, the Generate group. And then of course, if you need somebody that needs some inspiration, some motivation, some ideas on kickstarting their business, there's going to be a lot of people that have gotten the 1-2 punch over the last 90 days in their business. And we want to help get them back on track, right? So today we're actually going over one of my favorite chapters in the book, and it's day 14, and it's titled "Give Something Up," right? And right now seems like a really good idea to give something up, whether it's giving up something that you spend frivolously on and donating back to a community or somebody in need, or giving up some of the noise and distractions that we all get sucked into. Now, I'm not promoting that people stay totally ignorant and ignore the news and ignore what's going on in society. But I think if we're all being honest, there's probably some stuff that we could give up that's not really good for our souls. But I digress. I'm going to just read a few things here in the chapter because I think it's actually a pretty good chapter that I wrote. And of course, there's a gardener doing his job right outside my door. So I'll shut the window there. I run a coaching program that offers a low-cost, no-strings-attached monthly coaching for loan officers. The value we provide via training, live events, and archived material is insanely valuable. Considering that loan officers work on commission only, like many of us do, have no cap to their income and can literally make an unlimited amount of money, it's shocking to me how many loan officers won't invest in themselves. And I do this frequently. I'll probably do this in the Generate group here pretty soon. Once in a while, I'll post on Facebook and I'll tell a couple thousand people like this, something to this effect. And I stole this from the movie Boiler Room. Tell me you don't like my tie. Tell me my content sucks. Admit that you're just lazy, but don't tell me you can't come up with a couple $100s a month to invest in yourself in some type of coaching program. If anybody in this group can call me and tell me with a straight face that they don't spend at least $200 a month on cable, Starbucks, soda, booze, cigarettes, weed, whatever it is, I'll coach you for free. And I make that offer to a couple other Facebook groups that I run, and maybe I'll make that offer here eventually with Generate. Like, if you actually can show me that like you're giving things up, if you're sacrificing in some of those things that we all waste money on, I'll coach you for free to help you get to a point where then you can pay for coaching, because that's what I do partially as a living. To date, I've never, ever had anybody take me up on free coaching. One person tried. I had him send me their bank statements. And sure enough, there was like $450 of spending at Starbucks, 7-Eleven, AM, PM, cigarette stops, food stops, coffee stops, stuff adds up, right? And my point here is not that somebody should be in my coaching. My point here is not that it's bad to buy Starbucks or invest a few bucks in coffee. But if you're not at a place where you want to be in life, you've got to give up some of that stuff that is wasting your time and your money. I give this analogy in the book, right? The TV show Sons of Anarchy cost me about $135,000. Sons of Anarchy cost me about $135,000. And follow my logic here. There's 92 episodes in the TV show Sons of Anarchy. Great show, by the way. It's a series that my wife and I binge watched over the course of 5 or 6 weeks when we were dating. Each show runs about 44 minutes with bathroom breaks. So 99 episodes times 44 minutes, that's 4,048 minutes of TV consumed. Divide that by 60 minutes in an hour. About 70 hours of my life went towards watching the show Sons of Anarchy. Now, obviously, when I'm at work doing 40 hours of work, I'm not laser focused generating revenue and generating leads all 40 hours. But if we kind of extrapolate this mental exercise, if I stay truly focused and lead generate for an hour straight, I can generate a new lead or a new referral relationship about once an hour that will create a deal over the next 12 months, right? So if I just bang out an hour's worth of calls nonstop, call past clients, call existing realtor relationships, call past realtor relationships, call future realtor relationships, I can probably generate about a lead an hour or a relationship an hour that's going to create some type of future revenue. My average commission per deal when I close a loan is about $4,000 after expenses and taxes and all that stuff. I make about $2,000 for a loan that I close. 70 hours, I had 67 and a half hours here times $2,000 per hour because I could have generated a deal or relationship in that hour. That's roughly $135,000 of annual revenue I missed out by choosing a TV show over lead generation. Let's say I screwed around, obviously 70 hours straight, it's hard to stay laser focused on lead generation. Let's say I screwed around and I only generated, leads or relationships for 75, 50, 25% of that 67 hours. Well, that's still $10,000, $30,000, $67,000 accordingly that I left on the table because I chose to watch the show Sons of Anarchy instead of work. Now, I want to make sure you don't get me wrong here. Like, we all need downtime, right? That time spent connecting with my girlfriend, who then ended up becoming my wife, maybe that's the thing that solidified how we connected and fell in love and got married. So I don't want to totally throw Sons of Anarchy under the bus. Plus, it's a great show. Plus, at the end of a long day, many of us need some way to disconnect, go into a fantasy world, stop worrying about our business. However, in a digital age of endless distractions, 24/7 media cycle, endless beeps, tweets, blips, everything from this device, this is a more addictive drug than crack cocaine. Like, they've done some scientific studies on it. Like, this is a really bad piece of equipment that we carry around all the time. It's important that we're evaluating how we spend our time and how much money we're losing by not making good business decisions and just making decisions where we get pulled into rabbit holes and down the path of different YouTube videos and into an argument that we don't want to have on Facebook, and some tweet or blip comes up and that sends us to an argument that then sends us to an article that sends us to this. And all of these things, right? We're making decisions that are taking us away from things that could be money-making activity, deepening relationships with our friends and family activity that can be adding to our lives instead of detracting to it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a saint in this area. Last night, my wife and I still connected, laying in bed, watching the Ozarks. And I know all the reasons you're not supposed to have a TV in your bedroom and you're not supposed to end your night watching TV, but whatever, it's our thing. We watch like an episode of something on Netflix almost every night or every other night. And that's just kind of how we unwind, and we don't have to have deep, meaningful conversation at 9:30 at night. I'm not saying that you have to be perfect. I'm just saying that you have to evaluate these different activities that are taking up so much of our time and taking you away from your business. So, that's my thought for today. I have a passion about lead generation. I have a passion surrounding the concept that, like, a job is the best social program. And when we get things moving financially, a lot of the other social challenges that we have become less and less dramatic. And so anything that we can do, guys, to get business, the economy, our community, our family, our country back on track, let's do it. I want to do my little piece. I know where I can stay in my lane and talk about things that are relevant to me and that I understand at a deep level. That comes around business and lead generation. And, if you're down in the dumps right now and you're just binge watching Sons of Anarchy, Ozarks, whatever, Game of Thrones, just think about it and make some conscious decisions about, hey, where am I spending my time? What am I putting my effort into? And where do I want to focus my energy, right? Because that's all we can do is really control ourselves and then build upon those relationships with our family, our community, our nation, our world. Things get better. So love you guys lots. We've got a great interview scheduled for today with Elise Archer. Highly recommend you tune in live, ask some questions. She has a wealth of knowledge on answering questions online in order to build your personal brand. So we're going to talk about that, and I'll see you later today.